Hello, guys. Hello, Spiritual Biz Success Peeps. How are you guys? So, interesting little topic talking about your spouses and family and their role in your spiritual business because they really do have a role in the overall process and they have an impact. Sometimes it's positive and sometimes it's negative. And when we're looking at the impact of our families and stuff on our business, it can be a little, what's the right word? I guess it's an opportunity for growth, right? It's a little bit of a challenge sometimes. Maybe you have a spouse that really isn't into the spiritual side of things. So they may think what you're doing is cute or kind of fun, but they're not really seeing it as a spiritual business. And so when they don't see it as a spiritual business, it holds you back. I know how tough that can be. And it's tough when you don't have that support group. When you've got your spouse that's like, oh, that's a cute little business. That's not really, something where they think that you can make six figures from. They're like, well, I don't see how that could happen. And so if they're doubting you, then that doubt kind of creeps into everything that you're doing. And it brings a lower vibration into your business and what you're creating. And I totally get that. We see that a lot because there's not a support system. And then we also see the flip side of a spouse and family impacting your business just because it's a bit of a distraction. So let's just say you have a plan to do work on, I don't know, maybe it's on the weekend or maybe you pick a day during the week. If you're a full-time spiritual entrepreneur, maybe it's a weekday and you say, okay, from this time to this time, I'm going to work on expanding my business. I'm going to go to the next level. For my clients, they're like, I'm going to spend the next couple hours doing my spiritual biz boot camp homework, and they're focused and they're ready to get it done. And then your spouse or your kids come in and they want to go for an ice cream or go have lunch or go for a walk or whatever it is. And the problem is that we love them so much. That's what we want to do. And so we go, okay. And then we turn around and we realize, oh my goodness, I didn't get my homework done, or I didn't work to expand my business. And when that happens, there's then a level of guilt that comes in because we're guilty because we didn't get the work done that we were going to do. And there might be a little bit of resentment that creeps in because your spouse or your kids aren't honoring your time. And I see this happen a lot. There's this big wobble with like, I need to get stuff done, but then this stuff sounds more fun. And we don't always have the self-discipline that we need to get it done. So we end up, pushing it to the side and we'll get it done later. We can do it tomorrow. And it doesn't get done. So what do we do about these two things? Now, first one, we're going to talk about this last thing I just talked about when it comes to having your spouse and family that is distracting, but in a good way because they just want to spend time with you. So what you want to do is you want to create a schedule and you want to say, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work from this time to this time on my spiritual business. I'm going to ask you to honor me in this process and not disturb me from noon to 2 or whatever the time is that you pick. And you get them to do an agreement, an energetic exchange of a verbal agreement so that they're on board with you and that they're honoring what you're doing. And if you ask them to honor what you're doing, they can't say no. And then on the flip side, come up with a reward for, say, okay, if you let me work from noon to 2 on Saturday, then at 2:30, we're going to go and we're going to go have a nice lunch outside or something along those lines, whatever it is that your spouse or your kids want to do with you. So you're going to create a little contract, a verbal agreement, an energetic exchange of energy so that way they have an agreement and that they're like, yes, I'm going to honor your time and I'm going to allow you to work. And then when you go do that work, you focus. You really, really focus. I call it quantum timing, when I can really focus and get like 2 to 3 times the amount of work done that most people would do. And so you're going to really focus and dial it in. It's because you don't want your spouses and stuff to interfere with your business. And the hard part is that you're doing it for them, but you want to be with them now. But if you can realize it's like that whole, satisfaction later, if you can postpone the satisfaction a little bit later, then you can create the business that you desire or take the business that you have to the next level and then have it expand in such an amazing way that you can spend all the time you want with them. So that's the first piece. Create like an energetic agreement with them so that they know not to disturb you during a certain time. Now, the spouse issue that comes up, the first thing I talked about, which is where they're just not on board with your spiritual business, which is definitely a difficult one. I see this all the time. And they may think your spiritual business has been a hobby and they can't see how it could be anything more than that. So they might just think it's cute or be like, oh, isn't that nice that you have that little business? They're really not supportive in the way that you need them to be supportive. And what you really need is you need people who are like-minded, who are doing the same thing. You need to find that support somehow, because you go from being a spiritual entrepreneur to having a full-blown business to being a true entrepreneur. It takes dedication. It takes energy. It takes the energy of money. It takes the energy of time. It takes the energy of creativity. And if you aren't able to dedicate that energy to it, it just doesn't work. So you truly need to be with like-minded people, people that are going to get you there. And that's what we've built into Spiritual Biz Bootcamp. There's a whole team of coaches to get you there, and then you're with an amazing mastermind of a great vibrational team of people and vibrational team of just in the bootcamp group in and of itself that support each other on this path. Because you can't do it alone. I don't know how people could do it alone. You need to have that energetic support. So if you're looking for that support and you are ready to change your life with your business, make it way more than a hobby, go from spiritual entrepreneur to spiritual leader, then take a look in Spiritual Biz Bootcamp, because we can totally solve that problem for you. So there's going to be a link above. Watch the free training. If it resonates with you, then book a call with my team and we can see if we are a vibrational match. And let me just make sure there weren't any questions before I hop off. Hello, Heather. Hey, David. Adrian, who just got out of boot camp, and Kathy was there too. Kimberly Crow, how's it going? And Sheila, and there you go, David. All right, guys, that was it. Oh, and Cara, how are you? So recent boot camp graduate. All right, guys. So so that's it. Those are the tips to being able to set an energetic agreement with your spouse and your children so that you can get your work done and get your business to the next level. And really, you have to have a support team. So support team for you emotionally, vibrationally, the whole 9 yards, and in your business to show you how to get done from A to Z, because you cannot create a six-figure business on your own. It just doesn't happen. The mentorship is needed, and the coaches are there to help you with that process. So again, there's going to be a link above for Spiritual Biz Bootcamp. Go watch the free training, and if we're a vibrational match, reach out, and we will see you in bootcamp. Have a great day.